Good afternoon from the DMV. It is your boy Shad Talks Grabs on Instagram, OCDMV703 on X. If you're not following me, there's something clearly wrong with you. We are back here for another episode of the Wrestling Republic Daily Podcast, and we are reviewing last night's Monday Night Raw. Jam-packed show, a lot to talk about. We are in a big week of professional wrestling, and me and my buddies on the podcast today and all around Wrestling Republic writers are excited. Queen and King of the Ring Saturday, Double or Nothing. AEW and WWE got us a lot of wrestling to talk about. So we had some semifinal matches, and I'm ready to talk about it. I first must present my good old panel today. I'm gonna start out to the UK. My buddy Chaos, how you doing, bro? You are muted, Chaos. Can you hear him, Josh?
Nah, I think you're muted, Chaos.
Yeah, your mic is not you. We're not hearing nothing on the mic. I'm gonna pin it to Josh, and I'll let you get back because we can't hear you at all, bro. All right. Technical difficulties occurring. It's all good. It's all part of the game. Uh, but we do have somebody else here. We got our buddy Josh from Philly. How you doing, bro?
What up, Shad? I'm doing great. Just like the TV show says, it's always sunny in Philadelphia. Not completely true, but today it is. It's beautiful outside, 85 degrees and sunny. Finally, it is summer. So good vibes, good energy. Got to watch Raw last night. That was phenomenal. Great Raw. It was really jam packed right up to the last second, actually. That finish got maybe cut short, but we'll talk about that in a bit. But Raw was great last night. I'm really, really excited to talk about it, and I'm ready to get into it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we will wait for Chaos to get back in, and while we wait for him, well, he is back here now. Can you talk for us? It's still not
Still
working, bro.
no go.
Yeah, we having technical difficulties on Chaos's end. It's still not able to hear you. Um, we do got some comments to start off though. David Maj saying Gunther beat Yeet. We will talk about that. A lot of people are excited about Gunther today, and we are definitely excited to talk about him versus Jay Uso. Um, as the fans are telling you, bro, they're saying Chaos is muted. Uh, there's silence, chaos. I don't know what happened. I know you don't want to read this one over here, but Soul Session such chaos can't host like the Shotster, can't control his guests and mic issues. A poor performance like Arsenal. Oh man, Ben, I'm sorry I had to read that one. And then yeah, we got some more comments. Chaos, as you get this started, we're gonna start with the first topic, so we're gonna get it to you in a second. But we have our first topic of the day, and that was last night. We have this build to the Intercontinental Championship match. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Sammy and Chad initially having their first match. A little bit of a preview, and I thought it was a solid bout. I think yesterday we saw a lot of development of Chad Gable. Man, he is really honing into this heel character. And I'll tell you this, Josh, I was definitely on the fence about how we got to this character because we had such a good build of him as a babyface going into the Gunther feud, right? And I thought
Yeah.
the moment for it was him beating Gunther for the IC title. The pivot happened. Sammy ends up being the guy. But how quickly they were able to pick up the sticks and create a new storyline, create a new character for Gable, and act like nothing happened. It's pretty impressive. I'll kick it off to you first. Thoughts on the match itself, and I think the main premise is what did you think about Chad Gable last night? With everything tied to him with the match and all the promos within the show as well.
100%. Yeah, you said it best. WWE did great with the pivot, and that's just classic WWE. We saw that with Rock and Roman, that same thing. They had that Rock Roman leading up to Mania 40. The fans said, "No, we don't want this Hunter." WWE pivoted. It worked out perfectly. They still got Rock on Mania. WWE is good at pivots, and we're seeing this again with Chad Gable. Just like you said, we had a great babyface build up to Gable versus Gunther. Everyone thought Gable was going to derail Gunther and win the Intercontinental Championship. He did not, and fans were wondering like, "Hey, what's going on now? Where are we going from here?" Well, I mean, we're seeing it now. It's Chad Gable, a heel run. It reminds me a lot of Kurt Angle, and we saw it last night. The fans were chanting, "You suck," to the beat, just like they did for Kurt Angle, and that was just perfect. When I heard that, I was like, "Okay, this thing is working, Hunter. You're a genius, and WWE creative team's a genius as well because Chad Gable is killing it. If I close captioning here, it'd be in all caps. He is killing it. His heel work has been incredible. We really saw it take a huge leap last night. He had several segments last night. They put him on TV a bunch last night, starting with that promo leading to the match. Gable interrupt Alpha Academy. He had them behind him. They looked terrified. Maxine Dupree, I mean, she looked absolutely terrified. She had a great face on. So did Tozawa and so did Otis. It was great. But then you get to the actual match. The match itself was brilliant. Not only just a good match between Zayn and Gable, but as you know, Alpha Academy was there ringside. And just like I'm sure you were the same and I was the same and everyone else was the same, everyone was curious what was going to happen during that match because, we didn't want Alpha Academy to interfere. We can tell we're kind of getting that babyface tease and we're kind of getting that tease from the Alpha Academy that they're going to leave Chad Gable or Chad Gable is going to kind of get rid of them because we saw the Creed brothers as well. Well, we saw Chad Gable kick out Dupree and Tozawa, which I thought was hilarious. Just like, he was the ref. He's like, you guys are getting out of here. And that was great. And then unfortunately we saw, Otis interfere, which just, it's just Otis getting that peer pressure that Chad Gable gave to him. And he did actually apologize to Sami Zayn later in the locker room. But look, I really like the direction, just like you said, that the Alpha Academy and this Chad Gable thing is going, just like I said earlier, we saw the Creed brothers. That could definitely be the way this is going. I could see the Creed brothers and Chad Gable teaming up to be heel. Maybe we get Sami Zayn, Otis, and Akira Tozawa with a big babyface run. That could be a great six-man tag that could happen in the future. But look, just like you said, the Chad Gable heel run so far has been incredible. The way that WWE has pivoted and the way that Chad Gable is doing it, he went from an all-time face to really, not an all-time heel yet, but he's playing the part of an all-time heel right now, and he took that switch very, very fast, and I think he's doing a great job, and the fans are popping for it as well. So I'm just really excited to see that develop. I'm really excited to see what I hope will happen, which is Otis is going to turn on Chad Gable, and then he's going to get that big baby face pop. They're building that pop. Everyone's chanting for Otis. It's going to happen. Everyone's going to love it when it happens. And overall, this Saturday triple threat match between Bronson Reed, Gable, and Zayn, it could be a show stealer. I'll be honest, it really could. The story involved is great. The talent involved is great. And all three wrestlers in the match have different styles. And I'm really excited to see how they mesh. And I'm really looking forward to it, Shad.
For sure. And I think you made a lot of brilliant points on that in regards to everything tied to the development. And I as much as this helps Gable, we'll talk about it before the show. It helps these members of the Alpha Academy. It helps a Akira Tozawa. It helps a Maxine Dupree, and it helps Otis. My biggest issue with the Alpha Academy is that they became so much of a comedy act, and there wasn't a
Hmm.
lot of seriousness to the group. And you adding more of a personal, connection and having empathy for these three characters, like you
Yeah.
mentioned, Maxine Dupree. We'll talk about the women's match later too. I think she did some of her best work last night, all around the show, and just the facial expressions, feeling very, very scared of Gable. It fit perfectly. And yet, I love the psychology of the match where everyone's apprehensive and, even the segment between Otis and Sammy at the end. So, all right, well, I got some good news. We are not, this is just not the two Eagles fans here. Chaos is back. Chaos.
Hello, can you hear me?
All right.
Yes, we can
All
hear
right.
you. We can hear you.
Goodness sake, I
Uh,
am so
uh,
stressed. I mean, I'm gonna have to take. I've been busy drinking my Wraith energy drink for everyone that's right there. The perfect beverage for gamers and content creators right here. And yeah, I'm happy to be here. Happy Tuesday, everything. Clearly, I missed the
now,
conversation here, but yeah, let's get straight to it, shall we?
No, for sure. We breaking down the entire segment between obviously the match of Sami Zayn and Chad Gable and everything tied to Chad Gable. We got a couple comments in here. I don't even know if I could put these comments, but we'll just put the first one. if you know, you know, right? It's one of those. If you know, you know.
I didn't
Um,
mention it. Don't fire me,
but
Ben.
I gotta ask you, Chaos. What are your thoughts about the build up to this match? But I think the important thing of last night was the element of what we're seeing with this new heel version of Chad Gable, the Alpha Academy, and just going into this Intercontinental title match.
Yeah, I mean, well, first off, if you want 10% off any on your purchase of Rafe energy drink, put using Chaos Rafe. Cheap little plug there. Yeah, this whole thing regarding Chad Gable, I'm actually loving it. The Unfortunately, I don't think he's gonna win the IC title at King and Queen of the Ring. I would love to for it to be that be the case, but yeah, I'm liking this slow disintegration of the Alpha Academy as well. So and yeah, they're plucking at the strings from both on all three sides, and I like the way that I love the promo that Sammy gave, with the mind, body, and soul, and he's assigned each one of those to each of those to both Gable, Bronson Reed, and himself. Great promo. I'm loving he's still downplaying his team. Chad Gable is with Alpha Academy, but and there's Maxine is obviously confused. Tozawa doesn't even know, he's just there. But the little dynamic between obviously during the match between Gable and Sami Zayn, we got with we thought that Otis wasn't going to follow Chad Gable's orders, but he actually did, and he came in clutch with the interception and got Gable the win. So but it's not a full heel turn. He seems obviously it's a true definition of confliction, and then you don't really see that as much. I mean, you kind of saw that with Indy Hartwell with Candice LeRae. But I'm liking this type. I'm liking it. I think it fits more with Otis than it did with Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. I'm more intrigued in this one than that team. But yeah, it's gonna be great. I don't think Otis is going. I think he's gonna screw over Chad Gable, and yeah, I think that'll be it for Alpha Academy. And we saw a little tease with the Creed brothers later down the line, in the show. So yeah, I'm loving it. I'm here for. I think that's definitely going to be one of the standouts of King and Queen of the Ring PLE, and yeah, I'm just looking forward to it. But yeah, Sami Zayn is going to retain, unfortunately. I'm sorry.
Yeah, Sammy's gonna retain. Obviously, it being in Saudi, Sammy being of Arab descent, he's kind of a superhero there. So I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
see him losing there. Um, but I do agree with you. I think Chad Gable deserves a title at some point.
yeah.
And like y'all was mentioning, I thought the intriguing part was, and it was very subtle, but obviously the conversation and the chuckles with the Creed brothers, like that's what he needs. That's like his team angle, right? That's his
Yes.
Charlie Haas and Shelton
Yeah.
Benjamin, and that
And
is what
it's there's more instances of like you said, the different angle things, like the crowd is starting to say you suck during the
suck.
Alpha Academy
Yeah,
theme. And it's all natural, and that's the thing about it. They're not forcing it. It's not in your face. It's all coming together. And like you said, yeah, it's gonna be Team Angle, his own version of Team Angle. And I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
yeah.
And
Like, go ahead.
yeah, just to your point, Chaos. It's the whole build with this Kurt Angle and Chad Gable like comparison. It's natural, just like you said. They're not forcing it. However, now that it has came natural, I can see WWE start to pushing out merchandise. You suck, Chad Gable merchandise, stuff like that. Now, kind of not forcing it, but giving it to us because we were the ones that came up with the idea. Now they're going to give it back to us. They're going to start selling merch, start really making that comparison deep about Chad Gable and Kurt Angle, and it's going to help elevate that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, we get the comparisons nonstop. They are very similar, but they are a little different. Like his like to what Chaos said, it comes the fact that it's happening naturally makes it like cool with me. It's not just complete like that, and obviously the comedy aspect to him is not going to be the same as what we had with Kurt Angle back in the
No,
ruthless aggression attitude era. It's going to be different, but it's gonna be interesting. I'm excited for it. We got a comment that I always throw my twos up, but David Maj is saying maybe Chad brings up Chase U and adapts him as a new Alpha Academy. David, you are an incredible fan of Wrestling Republic. I absolutely hate that idea. I'm
I
sorry,
was about
bro.
to say.
I,
I was about to
absolutely,
say. I was
I
like,
absolutely hate that idea, bro. I do not want that. That
nah,
that that reverts back everything that we said in regards to him becoming more of a serious character. That
exactly.
puts him back into the comedy aspect. So, no offense, I appreciate your opinion and comment and support. Always do that, but at least
That ain't it, bro. That ain't it.
at least you know you could laugh and chuckle at it too. Oh man! All right, so we'll continue and following this topic, we had a speaking of a call up, a guy who finally is introduced more into the light on Raw. And that's always the question because, and I love that it's a storyline, but Braun Breaker's mad, and Braun Breaker was really mad yesterday. He must no don't doesn't WWE have a snicker deal, right? He's not himself when he's hungry because he was going crazy. He had a match versus forgot the gentleman's name, but they said he's on The Bachelor. That's all I know. He was a Bachelor contestant or the Bachelorette contestant, and that man got murdered. And kudos to him. I think his last name was Kale. His name was Kale something. He sold like $1,000,000, but I don't know if he was actually selling or he was actually getting beat down because Braun put a beating on him. Similar type of attack to a lot with Von Wagner. And yeah, he went on a chaotic run. We saw him also have a beat down on Ricochet. I liked it. I think it made him look really strong. It has a bit of a Brock Lesnar resemblance to when he kind of came out, just wreaking havoc. I gotta ask you, Chaos. He caused chaos yesterday. What were your thoughts on Braun last night?
I'm happy that it's getting the TV. I just realized I look like I'm just a floating head here. I need to change this out. I need to change this shirt afterwards. I'm wearing all black because it's weird. Yeah. The I'm glad that it's finally getting some TV time, and it's still keeping up with the storyline about him being not being in King of the Ring. And yeah, it's just hit breaking point. And yeah, he just took out. His name was Kale Dixon. That was his name, Kale Dixon. And yeah, he absolutely murdered this guy, bro. I mean, especially when he did the Braun Strowman-esque type of thing. He went around the ring, but this one was way more impressive. The way he cut that corner before he speared the Dixon. I was watching the highlights on again on the YouTube channel, and someone said in the comments, he speared him so hard he made him think he was Elias. I was just like, yeah, that's pretty much like
That's hilarious.
It was just absolutely hilarious. Absolutely killed him. I'm loving it. I got a little crazy theory, which I will get into later on when we're going to talk about another match regarding Braun Breaker in the King of the Ring situation. But yeah, he's wreaking havoc, and then he wreaked havoc on Ricochet backstage with that really awkward face to face with Ilya Dragunov. The reason I said it was weird is because the facial expressions that Dragunov was doing. I don't know if he does it in NXT because I don't really watch NXT. I'm sorry, but he was just screwing up his face and doing all these weird expressions to Ricochet. If that was me, I would not be able to keep my face straight because yeah, it was just kind of unneeded. But yeah, he came out of nowhere with the spear, took him out, broke a couple of his ribs. He told him to walk it off, and then yeah, we'll see what happens. But yeah, I do feel like there's more to this King of the Ring storyline, which I'll mention later on. But yeah, I'm here for it. Good start, and yeah, just keep wrecking, guys. Let's keep it going.
Yeah, no, to your point about Dragunov, he does make these weird facial expressions on
Fair enough.
NXT as well.
It's
That's
so
part
unneeded.
of it. It's part of his whole shtick. And I mean, I, I think Dragunov is a phenomenal professional wrestler. He might be one of the best
Oh yeah,
now, like bell for bell wrestlers, and I think he's also a really good character. And he looks very prestige, but he is very over dramatic with a lot
yeah.
of aspects to his acting, and I would like to see him tone it down a little bit, where he comes more of a person rather than like a I don't know like a an actor like trying to be
Yeah.
like like he needs to. It'd be cool if he tones it down a little bit, but that was kind of funny, and yeah, man, I'm excited to hear what your theory is about the King of the Ring aspect for him.
One thing,
Got a
one thing, one thing I
good.
was to say that the little subtle, reference that Aiden Pierce did. He said like, I don't do math, but I can add this all up. Can you just add this up for me? That was very subtle, but I liked it. Very, very nice. Yeah.
I like that
Steiner.
too.
Just call him Steiner by now. Just like, what's wrong with y'all?
I wish they would. I saw somebody like on Twitter was even like, man, I wish they would just. I don't think they would ever do that, and I don't think it may be a good idea. But it'd be funny if he had Scott as his manager. But
Yeah, maybe not that, but
it might be a little much. Oh man. We got a lot of comments actually. So let's go with some that actually pertain with the topic. Yes, Braun was running at 1,000 miles per hour. We might have to clock to see what his. I got to check what his 40 time is when he was in the NFL draft.
So
he got to run it.
Cole said he ran up to 26 miles per hour. I don't know.
That's crazy. He hits the ropes like a madman, bro. Like
100%.
It's wild. He's definitely like he's something different for sure. And everything is like kind of everything has come together with him. Like the potential is starting to line up very well. We also got a comment from David Maj saying Adam Pearce was definitely pissed, man. And I think Adam Pearce does a good job portraying and showing his emotions of that. So I mean all is good, but we also must talk about something important that is to us at Wrestling Republic, and that is our good buddies at Next Level Connect. Now, I know you must wonder, do they only go on YouTube? No. You can also hear us on Spotify. You can also hear us on Apple. You can also read articles. You could also follow us on Instagram. You could also see what we're live tweeting. How do you find all of that in one synchronized place? Well, it's that link below. nxconnect.me/Wrestling Republic. You can find all of our contact across all the platforms linked in one place. It is a very, very key website. And the guys at Next Level are incredible, man. They do great work. They are so giving that they even have opportunities for y'all to get free stuff. I believe they flew someone out to WrestleMania and Monday Night Raw. I believe they put cash in people's pockets from the WWE shop. And they also provided people with WWE 2K24. So if you like to win free stuff, follow them, follow us. They always have contests coming in the future. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep rocking because we may have had my favorite thing from yesterday's show last night, and that is the incredible hoop session that we are seeing week upon week from Miss Io Sky. Queen of the Ring semifinals. I don't think there is a person who's had a string of match upon match upon match where they've all hit like Io Sky has. Like Io had an incredible match with Natty, Shayna. Last night may have been the best one with Lyra Valkyria. Phenomenal match, man. The Queen of the Ring tournament has been set up so good, especially on the Raw side. And the newcomer came out with an upset. You know, I'm a big college basketball fan. Bracket busters are always a fun part. And Lyra is the Cinderella story. Nobody knew much about her. No one expected her to get to the finals. And here we are. She beat Io, former champion, as she may say. And they're going. She's got an opportunity to win the Queen of the Ring tournament versus the winner between Bianca and Nia. That's going to be a tall task, but who says they're going to stop her? I must ask you, Josh, thoughts on the match, banger match, and thoughts on just the direction of, do you think the winner was right? And do you think Lyra will be the Queen in the Ring?
For sure, Shad. So before I go into Valkyria and how impressive she was, because she was great, let's talk about Io Sky for a second. Just like you said, she's been on an absolute dominant run since WrestleMania. She had a great match against Bayley. She's been running through the Queen of the Ring tournament. Unfortunately, last night she lost. However, it was an absolute banger of a match. They gave them, I believe, in 19 minutes last night, which is the most amount of minutes any match has gotten in the Queen of the Ring. And it was longer than the average of every single other match, which is just incredible. But Io Sky has been through the gauntlet and she's been dominating. Bayley, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, and now Valkyria. I mean, Io Sky has delivered, man, and match after match she is killing it. And dare I say, Io Sky is the Gunther of the women's division currently. I mean, she has just been dominating night after night, putting on performance after performance. She's a great character. She's great at selling. She actually did get busted open last night. I believe that was real. But anyways, she's an absolute dog, and in Philly we love dogs, so I love Io Sky. But in terms of the match, they gave the majority of the shine here to Io to display Valkyria's resilience, which makes sense because she's an underdog. A former women's champion in WWE, just had a huge WrestleMania match going up against a fresh face. NXT just got called up, and it's also important to know that a huge chunk of WWE fans don't watch NXT all the time. There's many fans that just watch Raw and SmackDown. So it's important here that Valkyria is getting this underdog push, these wins against these big superstars, because for some people, this is a new face, especially to the people in the audience who, people just live around. I was in North Carolina last night. Not everyone there is a hardcore fan. So some people are there just to see new faces, see new people. And that's Lyra Valkyria. And for them to get 19 minutes and for them to put on the match that they did put on, that was phenomenal for the Valkyria and her presentation as a now main event superstar on Raw, or hopefully main event superstar. It seems like, because she's going on to Saudi Arabia in a PLE. She just got drafted like 3 weeks ago and she's already on a PLE. So that's awesome. The one thing I will say about Valkyria is I believe she maybe needs a little bit more personality. I feel like she could be a little bit louder and energetic. That may have been a result of just the crowd being kind of dead towards this match, which I was upset about because it was a banger of a match. I don't know why the crowd was dead. North Carolina do better. But, she is the talented to be a women's champion. I just feel like it was kind of like watching a silent movie, honestly. There wasn't a lot of personality. And when she tried, she wasn't that loud. But that's something that's easily fixable. And with the result, I was very happy. I predicted Valkyria would win yesterday, and she did, so I'm very happy about that. And I think there's no better way to have an NXT star come up than to wrestle on a PLE. So this was great. WWE gave the match time. The chemistry was great between both competitors. I love to see them go at it again. That was great. Do I think she's going to win the finals overall? I don't. I feel like Nia Jax is going to take home, as long as she wins on Friday, the semifinals. I think she's going to take home that crown in Saudi. But I'm just really happy that they're giving Valkyria that opportunity to be on a PLE in front of millions and wrestle in front of that Saudi crowd.
No, for sure. And I gotta add something to it. Um, I think on the Raw side, well, nah, not the Raw side only. I think WWE, as much criticism as they have gotten with the draft and how they've realigned the rosters, and I know we wanted some more shakeups, but the minor shakeups that we've gotten, and these particular three, Lyra, Carmelo Hayes, and Braun Breaker, they've called them up, and I think they've done a very good job building them up as important wrestlers on the rosters, but as future stars down the road. And I've always said Raw was lacking the star power. I thought SmackDown, even maybe still to this day, has more of the stars, the Bianca, Bailey, Charlotte when she comes back, Jade now. Raw got few more stars, but they're starting to try to create more stars. And they also lack babyface stars. So if you can kind of get Lyra to be a major babyface star, that's beneficial. And I also like the fact that they aren't, being shy about her and Becky's relationship, being close, obviously having ties from the same region of where they're from, but having their match in NXT. So she could definitely improve on her promo and talking, but I think it'll come in due time. We got a couple comments about this as well. Uh, Matt Williams, it was a great match. Only issue is I had commentary called her Valkyrie. Yeah, yeah.
It's a tough
Hey,
name.
that's also Pat McAfee for you too. He's just
Yeah.
super on T about everything. And then Matt Williams also said, "I got no idea what her name actually is. LOL. One of the few name changes where dropping the last name would make sense to me. I mean, her last name has ties to her gimmick and everything within like I mean, Valkyrie, she's the bird, like the feathers, all of that. So it kind of makes sense. It's a neat, but the thing is this: some people may not know that. They may not understand might be a niche thing, but you know,
Yeah.
also, we got someone saying yeet, 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 yeet. I think that's because Chaos came through with the yeet shirt. So You know, you gotta know what time it is, man.
You know what
All
time it
right.
is.
All right. Next topic. We had to me, one of the lower points of the show. Awesome Truth versus this variation of the Judgment Day. I'm kind of just tired of these guys fighting with each other personally. Um, I will say our Truth is still funny. Calling Braun Strowman Andre the Giant is kind of crazy. But Braun coming in playing assistance to it and whatnot. It's cool. It gets all these people in it, but it didn't have me super excited. I don't know. Chaos, am I on my own island on this, or do you share similar thoughts as well?
No, no, I totally agree. I'm so over the Austin Troops. Yeah, I said it before. I think they gave him the championships because for our troop, because obviously of his long tenure with the company. And they wanted to give him they wanted to give him a WrestleMania moment because obviously when he came back at Survivor Series and he's been so great on screen and whatnot. I think it was just something like just like, yeah, here you go. Congratulations. Here you go. But I'm so over the Awesome Truth. I don't care about their entrance team. I don't care about their just them as a tag team. I want the titles off them as soon as possible. What I am happy though is that this match was not on a PLE because I agree Judgment Day still being in the tag team picture is tag team title picture is I think it's run its course for now. And yeah, I'm just looking finally to the dissolvement of Judgment Day, and we kind of seeing those more seeds of that being planted before and after this. But yeah, the match was a typical Raw match, as David Sheldon would say. But yeah, now I mean I think the next people to take it over is take the titles from it is probably the heel Creed brothers. If uh within the right time frame, when Chad Gable gets rid of the old Ever Academy, brings them in, and then they become champions, and then yeah, again that'll be another Team Angle-esque type of situation. So yeah, I think the next team to take the title off them will be the heel Creed brothers. I think they will be a more viable, believable tag team to take the championships from them. But yeah, I agree with you. I'm so over the Awesome Truth, and I'm so over the Judgment Day.
Sorry about that. I had technical difficulty on the background.
Oh
I
dear.
agree. I agree with you 100% too, man. It's like it's one of those things where I don't like sympathy. I mean, I don't mind him getting his moment, right? Like to your point, he deserves his moment for being long tenure, and he's as over as he is. But like we knew that there wasn't a long shelf life with them being champions. Like it's
Exactly.
just and our truth is him and the Miz are funny, but
Mm-hmm.
the humor gets boring after a while, especially when they are champions. And yeah,
Yeah.
I would like to see a team get built up at some point where they will get the titles off of them because I mean you
Mm,
got a lot of talented tag teams, and hopefully the Creed brothers, somebody like that, can get it off them. But it's also the fact that they're getting victories over pretty like established tag teams, and I feel like this is a weekly thing for us. Like, what we doing with Finn, bro? Like, like what we doing with Balor, man? I don't.
yeah, we'll see what happens. I think he will. I think they're saving him for the eventual fallout with Judgment Day, and it'll be him against Priest. Which I'll give it to Ben Allison. He kind of predicted that would happen. He did it way in advance. He thought it was going to happen in Mania or whatever he said or
Yeah,
whatever it was. But yeah, I think that's going to happen. As much as he's saying like he wants the old team back and one day, yeah, I think it's going to be him and JD Butt turning on Priest, and then Carlito's doing his own thing with Liv Morgan, and then yeah, obviously when Rhea comes back, it's gonna be like Conor McGregor meme. Where the hell is everybody? You know what I mean? Everybody's gone, and she's just by herself. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. But yeah, I agree. They're great as a tag team. Just you don't want to see them as champions. That's just this is
for
the real.
sure, for sure. All right, speaking of Liv Morgan, we had a promo exchange between her and Becky Lynch last night. They have their match this Saturday for the PLE. And it may here's another thing for me. Maybe it's just me. Liv Morgan's promo game is a roller coaster. There's some weeks I'm just like, oh man, because I really do like the character work she's doing. I do like her as a heel. There's some weeks like last week where on T, really good, speaking facts. Last night, it's like up and down, up and down. Sometimes it was just really like, all right, you're kind of losing me. Then there's some lines that are good, like how she was able to, get the what chance and saying that about Becky. But for me, I'll be real with you. This feud has lost my interest a lot. And maybe I know it's because Becky's a placeholder, and I'm a big Becky fan. Y'all know that. But it's lost my interest. I want to just see what happens on Saturday. Presumably, I think Liv is gonna win. My only fear is I don't know what Liv does as a champion. Like I don't know if if she can maintain being a champ for a long time because there's a lot of holes in her game. And that may be a little mean to say, but I don't know. Josh, what are your thoughts? Do you agree with me? Do you, feel like it was a good exchange?
Yeah, no, I do agree with you. I think this feud has lost my interest a little bit. However, I do think that was kind of expected. When there's a big champion, as in Rhea Ripley, who is massive in terms of every single category of how you can be a big WWE superstar, and then you get injured, and then you have to relinquish your title. I think that first kind of feud and that first placeholder that picks up that champion. I think the feuds aren't going to be that stable and that they're not going to be that good just because this is plan B and this is the second plan we had. We were supposed to go here. We're supposed to go Rhea Ripley. Everything got scrapped, and now we're doing something else, something different. So I think I did kind of expect this feud to lose my interest a little bit, just because it's the thing that they didn't expect was going to happen. But look, I mean, I think it was okay for a promo exchange. I didn't think they said anything new or different than what they said in the past. I think it furthered Liv Morgan's heelish attitude, but there wasn't much that really impacted the feud. I don't think it really built the match at the PLE that much. I do agree, though. I think Liv Morgan should win the belt. I think Becky just lost the belt at Mania, and now she's holding it the week after. It doesn't really add up. Obviously, she deserves it. She's great, but I think it's old. We've seen her with the belt forever. I barely remember a time where Becky didn't have a belt on her. So I think it's time for a change in the women's division. I can see this belt being kind of passed around a lot. I can see a lot of people holding this belt before Rhea gets it, because just like you said, I don't know if Liv Morgan can maintain this belt like good, like in a good way. Like I don't think she can do really, really well for really, really long. So I'm not that confident in her title reign. I think she can hold it for maybe 1 to 2 months, but I don't think it would be a long run. I do think it'd be a good one while it lasts, but I think she could get over by defeating Becky clean at the PLE. Um, and in terms of her mic work, I don't think I don't think Becky like destroyed Liv by any means. I think Becky's just good on the mic, and we know that, and she's used to it. I think this new character has helped Liv Morgan with her mic work. I think she's been better on the mic. However, just like you said, I agree. It's a roller coaster. There's some lines you're like, all right, that's a good line. And then there's like, all right, you could do better than that. You could have some more energy. And there's a lot of different ways you can go about it and you can talk about it. But I think Liv Morgan does need to be a little bit better if she wants people to believe her emotions and believe her story. And I think last night that was just kind of tough for her to do.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree. It's how she enunciates her words too. She has a very
Yeah.
dragging motion, and her laugh is crazy. She got like a borderline Chanel West Coast laugh to me, if y'all remember her. Oh man, but yeah, I definitely agree. A lot of people in the comments share similar sentiment. But man, oh man, let's get to this main event. And we had the man, the myth, the shirt that Chaos is wearing. Main event, Jay Uso, star, man, star. I don't care what anybody says before we get to the topic. The entrance, everything. Jay is a star, going against the ring general Gunther, and these guys delivered per usual. Incredible match. Um, and we had Gunther winning. Now, I've been on the record saying we're gonna know the final of this King of the Ring by who wins tonight or last night. And Gunther wins. I could presumably think it's gonna be Gunther and Randy. I thought it could have possibly been Jay and Tamatanga. I would have been fine with either direction. Personally, I know a lot of people feel some type of way about that. I'm cool with either direction. I'm a little sad because I think Jey Uso is a guy who does deserve some sort of big accolade as a singles competitor at some point. Gunther just had the title for as long as he did. You know, he may win the King of the Ring and it benefits him. That's not to deny that. I think Jay deserves some sort of singles accolade to show people how great he is. Because to people saying that he's just a gimmick, he's just a slogan, I disagree. I think he has so much more to his wheelhouse, and we've seen it. He's one of the big catalysts of the initial start of this bloodline feud. But that's just me. My man Chaos with the Yeet shirt. What are your thoughts, man? Do you think the right person won? And yeah, how'd you feel about the main event?
Yeah, man. First off, I want to say I agree. That one shot, I love these one shots entrances, man. They're absolutely beautiful. Like the obviously the little these little speech at the end, at the beginning, banged on the lifting thing, and then yeah, it just was it walked in outside, and then instantly you see the lights going from everyone's phones, and yeah, it's just a sight to behold, man. It's just chef's kiss. The guy's got he's pure vibes. That's all I can say, man. It's just like and yeah, one thing I've never seen, I never knew, I didn't realize he was actually wrestling in white Air Force Ones. I don't know if anyone here is like proper sneakerheads, but yeah, I sometimes find it difficult walking it. I fear creasing those things, so I don't know how he wrestles in huge like white Air Force Ones, but kudos to him. Yeah, the right person won. The match was great, hard hitting. Jey Uso took them chops like a man, and it's yeah, it's no one chops better than Gunther and Ric Flair. And dare I say Gunther's chops are better than Ric Flair's. But yeah, now my crazy theory, I'm gonna put it out there. Obviously, Braun Breaker is obviously saying that he's pissed that he's not in the King of the Ring. My prediction, I'm gonna throw it out there that somehow it could go either two ways. I think it's gonna be Gunther versus Randy Orton as well in the final. But for some reason, one of those two ain't gonna make it to the final. So obviously, Randy is gonna take out Tama Tonga. They could easily, just take out Randy Orton before the match, and then Aiden Pierce could actually slot Braun Breaker in against Gunther. Or there's also, everyone seems to forget that there is a visa issue, a visa ban for Gunther right now. I know it's for 6 months. I'm not sure when it runs out. It's around this time. It may be just before or after. But he couldn't make it to Elimination Chamber. They could make up something that he couldn't make it to get to Saudi. Put Braun Breaker in for Gunther. I know it's a very Vince type booking to slot him in, but something's got to give regarding this King of the Ring tournament thing, and the only way to do it is if you maybe just somehow slide him in because of injury or unavailability. That's how I feel like they could probably try and make him somehow win it. Just completely take the ultimate shortcut and he wins the whole thing. But like I said, that's very VMAC. But I'll be still here for it. That's one way to like just completely get ultimate heat on yourself, and then just take it onwards. But if that doesn't happen, I think Gunther is definitely going to win. Again, thanks to the bloodline costing Randy. But yeah, it was a great match. I can't wait for Saturday. Yeah, that's my crazy prediction.
So we are calling him Brock Breaker now, aren't we?
Basically, yeah.
He is Brock Breaker. That is very VMAC. That'd be kind of crazy. That'd come from left field. I think a lot of people would feel some type of way. But
Oh yeah.
hey, man, that's why
It would
your
get
name is
people talking though. It's Braun Breaker though. It's not like the Great Khali. This guy is this guy's legit. So I would give it a pass. I'd be fine with that. That's one way to do it.
Yeah,
And
I'd be,
speaking of Brock Breaker, it'd be like very similar to Brock Lesnar when he just came in the Money in the Bank and just won that briefcase out of nowhere. Like it'd be the same thing. It makes sense. It does make sense.
yeah, that would be something. Oh man. All right, Josh, I gotta ask you, what were your thoughts on the main event and just the whole direction going into King of the Ring with Gunther?
Well, you when you're Triple H, you're booking this match. You got Jey Uso, probably the most over superstar in the business right now. And then you got Gunther, who his entire character is pretty much based off being the king of the ring. So it's like, which way do you go about this? And in my opinion, I think they went the correct way. So I mean, just that first promo, I believe someone commented it, but that first promo that we got before the match in the empty arena was bone chilling. I got goosebumps all over my like. It was crazy, like he said, like, I want to take the hope away and bring everyone into reality. Like the way he speaks, yeah, there's the comment. Matt Williams, also Gunther's empty arena promo gave me goosebumps. For real, he's the modern day Bruno. Yeah, exactly. Like it gave me goosebumps. The way he speaks, the intentions he has through his voice, you can hear it all. He sounds like a real life villain, and that's his goal. The entire point of the King of Ring is that you're crowned the best wrestler, and Gunther is literally, proclaimed the ring general, the general of the ring. So there's no doubt about it, in my opinion, that Gunther, unless of course that the whole Brock Breaker thing happens, hopefully not, that Gunther is going to go home with this crown. And I think if you disagree, honestly, or wrong, I think there's no way Gunther doesn't win this King of the Ring tournament. The match itself was very good. The storytelling behind Jay's arm was great. Desperation moves was exactly what I expected to see out of Jay. And I honestly thought Jay was going to win it when I started to see the arm going after it. I really did. But look, I think winning the King of the Ring is the first step to Gunther's like inevitable title reign. We saw it for Triple H, Sheamus, Stone Cold. It changes careers. Michael Cole said that on commentary. I think Gunther for sure will be a world heavyweight champion in the next 6 months. And I think winning this King of the Ring tournament will elevate him to that status. Even though he doesn't even need it, it will still elevate him to the very, very top.
Nah, for sure. And that is the telling thing. They definitely see him as a world heavyweight champion, and the direction for him is, presumably is that one on Raw at some point. It doesn't seem like it is one that has a long holding future champ. It's Priest, maybe it's Balor after him, maybe it's Drew McIntyre. But like I feel like Gunther would be the next long term champion, or who knows, maybe he is the one that takes the title off of Cody down the road. You never know with booking and how things go, but he's definitely someone that, and great point. I mean, the king of the ring general, very true to it. But I still, he's supposed to get that yeet down, but it's all good. Um, but yeah, man, we got a couple more comments in here. Some people are saying that let's see, expecting to see an excellent match between Gunther and Randy Orton. I'm hoping that's the finals. That is going to be a banger of a match. And yeah, we'll have to wait and see, unless my man Donnie Thornberry comes out and wins and sound effects his way to a victory. Time with time. Yeah. Oh man, but that's all the time we have for today, man. Wrestling Republic Daily. We'll be back same time tomorrow, 3 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. UK, 12 Pacific, 2 Central. I don't know the other time zones, but you can get the gist and do your map there. We're back tonight. Wrestling Republic off the air NXT review right after NXT is done, 10:15. I don't know if Sexy Red is going to be on the show or not tonight, but if so, ski yeet. She did tweet that, by the way. Bye, man. Y'all be y'all be easy. We'll catch y'all. Peace.
Peace.